Welcome to Formula World. I'm your host Dylan Shelley, and here's what's on this episode. First up on Formula World, gender diversity in F1. As has been reported in several of my recent videos, women in motorsport have been rather topical lately, and Williams development driver and W Series champion Jamie Chadwick has taken the opportunity to have her voice heard about her personal ambitions and her great hopes for women in motorsport. The ultimate goal is to get to F1. I'm under no illusions as to how tough it'll be to get there. I want to do it on merit. I don't want to do it because I'm a token female racing driver. I really feel that given the right opportunity and the right support, it is possible, not just for me, but for women to race competitively in Formula 1. Ultimately, I want to be the one to prove that. There are people who think, okay, you're good for a girl, but you might not necessarily make it to the top. I see it as motivation. I genuinely believe that it is possible, and if not me, there is a female out there who is definitely capable. F1 Managing Director Ross Brawn, who recently announced that the W Series will be running as a support to F1 in the USA and Mexico, echoes Chadwick's aspirations and is adamant about providing women a chance to show their skills in order to help increase diversity in Formula 1. Our sport must offer men and women the same opportunities to compete together, and it is no coincidence that one of our strategic objectives is to improve the diversity of the Formula 1 grid through the support and promotion of female drivers. Horner keen to see Hamilton take on the young guns. Red Bull boss Christian Horner is excited for the future of F1 and describes how there is a young pool of talent coming through at the moment, and he explains that he's particularly interested in seeing how Lewis Hamilton fares against the next generation. Every now and again you get a wave coming along, and I think we've got that at the moment. So I think especially exciting is the Max Leclerc dynamic. How's that going to play out over future years? How Lewis can still go toe-to-toe with those guys? Because there's life in him yet as well, and I think he's keen to gauge himself against the young wave that's coming through. I think for Formula 1 it's fantastic to have the dynamics of the young guys, the challengers, coming through, and some of the older guys that are the old dogs that know all the tricks. Ricciardo learned discipline from midfield driving. Daniel Ricciardo's first season at Renault went more or less how we probably expected it. However, Ricciardo recently revealed that racing in the midfield has taught him to be a more disciplined driver. It's so easy to overdrive and to try to get that extra tenth, and you end up losing a tenth. I think just being a bit more conscious of what a bit of overdriving does, especially with the midfield. The car is obviously not as good as the front guys, so if you do have a slide, I think you lose more time and overheat the tyres, and you seem to pay a bigger price. It's taught me probably just a bit of discipline over anything else, because the long and short is you are always trying to drive as hard and fast as you can, but picking your moments is probably the best way to put it. Fast feed. The 3-story pit building in Vietnam has been completed ahead of their maiden event, with the track and grandstands to follow shortly. Head of Pirelli's motorsport division Mario Isola insisted that no future tyre compound tests will take place during a current season, saying that it's probably the wrong way to go about it. AlphaTauri driver Pierre Gasly reflected on his 2019 season, describing it like a Hollywood movie. Mercedes driver Stoffel Vandoorne takes the lead in the Formula E Championship following the Santiago E-Prix, and BMW Andretti Motorsport jumps above Mercedes in the Formula E Championship courtesy of a win in Santiago from Max Günther. Which young driver will most likely beat Hamilton? Be sure to vote in the poll and let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe and check out my others for all the latest in the world of Formula 1.